All right, we're going to make a GPA calculator, and I'll just cut to the chase real quick, and we'll start plugging in the spreadsheet. Uh, get familiar with your pause button and pause so you can work along with me. So put in some titles here, some column headers, credits, grade, scale value, and just kind of work along with me. Uh, this will make sense here soon. Okay. We're going to do what I'm doing here under the course column is I'm just making up some course names. You might have management 521, who knows. Just kind of bear with me on that. And I'm just going to throw in a little bit of formatting. Total. So we want to sum up the credits column. So plug in a little formula sum. Drag out those values. And then we want to sum up the grade points column. And drag out that column. And then the GPA is going to be your grade points divided by your credits. As we build the spreadsheet, this is initially 0 divided by 0, so it's going to have an error. But when we plug in some values, the error will go away. All right. So I cheated a little bit and I pasted in the grade scale of University of Phoenix. This is something that you can get from the academic catalog. Your academic catalog, real quick, is under Schedule and Grades. In the Program Publications section, click the Academic Catalog link. Select your point of entry academic catalog and search for grading procedure within that, and you will find the grade scale of University of Phoenix for you. Now back here to scale value, we'll plug in our first formula, and we're going to put in a conditional if that will just help us keep it looking cool. So we'll say if, and we'll say if the grade equals nothing, and just two double quotes right beside each other, then do nothing. However, if there's a grade there, we'll do a VLOOKUP. The lookup value will be the grade. Table array will be our grade scale of the University of Phoenix. The value we want returned is the second column over there. And the range lookup is 0. We'll close our VLOOKUP and we'll close out our if statement. Boom. Now we have a formula here, but you see there's no value because the condition is that if C5 is nothing, it will display nothing. Okay? All right. Now we want the same thing to go all the way down. And we're going to need to put in a couple absolutes. So let's see, we want to turn our G5 to H20. So you just do an F4 on that. Except we do not want this one. Just our lookup over here needs to be absolute. Okay. Then we're going to grab the corner of the cell and we're just going to drag that formula down. And then you can see that each of this row 11, so now you're C11 up here. Okay. Now for the grade point. So for the grade points, we're going to throw in another formula. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to say if, and the logical test will be if D5 equals nothing, then we're going to show nothing. Otherwise, we will say B5 times D5. So basically for the grade point calculation, we're going to say that if nothing's here, then that means we're not ready yet. So we won't do anything. But if there is a value here, then that means there's a value under the grades. So we're going to take the credits times the scale value to get our grade points. We do not need to change any absolutes here. We'll drag that calculation down to the bottom. Yeah, we need to replace that line. Okay. So now we have formulas over here under the scale value. We have formulas over here under the grade points value. Now let's test it. Let's see if we can generate some GPA. So we'll say that ABC 123 is worth 3 credits. At the end, got a B. That B on the scale value returned a 3. 3 times 3 is 9 grade points. 9 divided by 3 gives us a GPA of 3. And we probably want to show this with a 3 point something something up here, right? So let's extend that out to have 2 decimal places. And I like to fill it since that's what I'm after. And I'd like to center my headers up here. And these numbers I would also like to have centered. The grades I would like to have centered. Scale value has a decimal, so I like to just bump it over 2 times. And the grade points, they will have decimals, so I like to bump those over 2 times. Alright, we can throw in some more random data. So 3 credit hours for ABC 124. I got an A this time, and it automatically calculates. Got another 3 credit hours for ABC 125. See, this time got an A minus. That auto populates. You can go back and check. Now the totals continue to add up down here, and the GPA continues to calculate up here. The cool part about doing your GPA calculator like this, let's say I just started ABC 126 and it's worth 3 credits, and I'm really not sure. I've been missing some homework, and maybe I'm in need of looking at some GPA a little bit. So I want to see, am I getting ready to bring my GPA down or up? So what would it be if I got out of this class with a D minus? What's it going to do to me? It's going to take my GPA to a 2.84. Okay, so let's say that I come out of this thing with a C+. Okay, my GPA is a 3.25. But let's say I pull it all together and get an A. Well, my GPA would be a 3.67. So that's how this GPA calculator works. What I like about it is you actually have to understand your GPA a little bit to use this calculator, but it lays it all out for you. Save this in your computer. Every time you finish a class, add your credit, add your grade, it'll auto-calculate. And then what I like to do on mine is I highlight these, just give it a color, because this is the column that I'm going to enter. This is all automatic. I never have to do anything over here. It's all done. So each class, I'll add the credits, add the grade,